So my name's Gemma and I'm the International Administrator at the college. So what I'm going to do to get started is just a short introductory presentation about the Global Health Challenge Scheme and what we have on offer. Then there'll be an opportunity afterwards to post a question using the post a question or the chat box functions on the GoToWebinar, or to ask at the end. Okay, so a bit about the Global Health Challenge Scheme. So in November 2015, the International Department established this scheme, and it's a programme of challenge events aimed at raising unrestricted funds to support the delivery of some of the college's international global health activities, which include, but aren't limited to, sending volunteer pathologists overseas to mentor and train laboratory staff, providing education bursaries to overseas doctors and scientists, and working with others to rebuild the laboratory systems in countries where the health system has been weakened. So an example of how we can help is a case study on reducing maternal mortality in Uganda. Now, almost all, 99% of the approximate 287,000 maternal deaths every year occur in developing countries, and half of the world's maternal deaths from severe bleeding occur in Africa. So every summer, Mubende Regional Referral Hospital in Uganda experiences a marked increase in the maternal mortality rate due to a lack of available blood for transfusion. Catastrophic bleeding around the time of delivery is the most common cause of maternal death in Africa, accounting for 34% of these deaths. Once bleeding starts, death can occur within 2 hours. Mubende Hospital services a population of more than 2 million, but there is no blood donation and transfusion service for the region. So funds raised through the Global Events Challenge Scheme could enable the college to work with Mubende to establish its own regional blood donation and transfusion service, ensuring that the region is adequately supplied all year round. The impact will be a reduction in the preventable deaths of mothers due to a shortage of blood. So this is just one possible project where your money raised from these schemes could go towards improving healthcare overseas. So just a bit about the first year of our scheme. So as I said, this was established in November last year. So we've just completed the first year of the scheme, and last year our pilot successfully raised over £16,000 for the college's global health projects in low and middle income countries. So in total we had 15 challengers who signed up to raise funds for the scheme. So this included 2 members of staff, myself, the training manager at the college, Mrs. Jenny Maddox, and our Vice President for Communications, Dr. David Bailey. So we're hoping to use perhaps some of these funds to assist a hospital laboratory in Uganda. So we're just doing the costings at the moment. So this is just one way that the money raised and future income could go towards improving projects abroad. So a bit more about last year. So some of the testimonials we had from our challenges. It was a life-changing experience and one of the best things I've ever done. So one of our fundraisers on the Sahara Trek also said, it was very surreal to go back to work after this brilliant week in the Sahara. It felt more like having been away for 5 weeks than just 5 days. I haven't laughed so much for a long, long time. And one of our fundraisers on the London to Paris cycle ride, which happened in July last year, it's our last day and I'm actually quite sad. The crew and challengers have become like family. So that's just an overview of some of the feedback we had from last year. So all our respondents agreed that the challenges met their expectations, and they really found it rewarding, a way to network with new people and make new friends, but also challenging themselves physically and mentally whilst supporting a good cause. So this year we have 5 challenge events. So our first one will take place on the 23rd of April. So we've been lucky to gain a place in the Virgin Money London Marathon. As I'm sure you appreciate, it's really hard to get these places, so we're absolutely flabbergasted that we got one, so we're so excited about this. So after applications were come through, we had one from Dr. Alice Wart, so she will be running the marathon on behalf of the college, and she is the college's chair of the Trainee Advisory Committee. Our second challenge for the year is the London to Paris Tour de France bike ride, which will take place from the 19th to the 23rd of July. So this is a challenge that we offered last year. We got extremely positive feedback, so we're excited to be offering it again this year. So it's a 4-day challenge covering approximately 295 miles. So cycling from the starting point, which I believe is in Croydon, and then going on to the finale at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. So you're also on this particular route have an opportunity to stay overnight in a hotel to see the end of the Tour de France as well. So it's an extremely exciting challenge to take part in. So if you have a chance, and this is perhaps a challenge that you're interested in, we have actually created a video with videos and pictures and feedback from last year's participants. And again, that is available on the website, and I will send round links after the webinar. So as I was saying, all respondents agreed that last year's challenge met their expectations. The ground team were excellent. It was good value for money. They'd recommend the challenge to a friend or colleague and would be interested in taking part in a future challenge event. So I asked our participants, what were your top 5 highlights of this challenge? They said cycling in France, meeting new people, not getting lost, losing weight, getting fit, riding around Paris, and completing and finishing the challenge in Paris as well. And we also asked them, if you could sum it up in 3 words, what would it be? So they said it was fun, it was different, refreshing, challenging, amazing, and rewarding. So again, we had extremely positive feedback from last year's challenge. It's a great one to get involved with, and it's one of the top ones that our partners at Global Adventure Challenges offers. So our third event of 2017 is the Prudential Ride London-Surrey. Again, this is coming up to par with the London Marathon. It's an oversubscribed event, and we've been extremely fortunate to have places in this year's event. So it starts in London at Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, covering 100 miles through Surrey's stunning country roads before a spectacular finish on the Mall in central London. So this is a cycling challenge like no other, and it follows a similar route to that of the London 2012 Olympic Road Cycling Races. And this year, 25,000 cyclists are expected to participate. Our fourth challenge for the year is Land's End to John OGroats Cycle Challenge. So this covers a mammoth 12 days. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's 1,000 miles covering 12 counties, and it's the furthest possible distance in the British Isles and one of the toughest fundraising cycle challenges on offer. So again, if you're a keen and avid cyclist and you want to challenge yourself, this perhaps could be the one for you. And our last one for this year is being delivered in partnership with Action Challenge. So it's a 5-day trip, which includes 3 days trekking across Iceland, covering 53 kilometres. So you'll be able to camp under the stars and see the hot springs, wade through glacial rivers, hike through the stunning valleys, and be awed by the waterfalls. And it culminates in a party in Reykjavik as well. So again, another fantastic challenge. Last year we did the Sahara Desert Trek, which myself I was involved in. Again, it's another fantastic way to meet new people and network in an amazing environment. I mean, this isn't something you do every day. So again, another fantastic place in the world to see, to challenge yourself, and again for a worthy cause. So talking about the Sahara Desert Trek, so it's not just on the challenge where you'll get to start meeting and networking and stuff. The time before the challenge is just as important, and we were really pleased that we had such a good community with our fundraisers last year, and they really got together and were willing to share some of their training, what they've been up to ahead of the challenge. So on the screen now is just some of the pictures that our fundraisers sent in to show us what they've been up to. And again, this is something we can share with our members to help generate publicity and also sponsorship from the membership as well. Right, so now to the funding options. So at the college we offer 2 funding options for these challenges, and this is something that is widespread and common in the challenge event field. So there is a funding option A where you can choose to fund your challenge through a minimum sponsorship. So what that means is that you'll be asked to confirm your place by paying a registration fee. You'll be asked to set up a BT My Donate page for any online fundraising, and you undertake to raise a minimum sponsorship amount on behalf of the college, and you will sign a fundraising agreement just to confirm that. So as you can see on the right there, we've got the minimum sponsorship as well. I just want to clarify that does include gift aid, which is 20%. So for example, the London to Paris bike ride, that one is £175. Plus, you'll be asked to fundraise a minimum of £1,590. Our other funding option, some of our members prefer this, perhaps they're not as confident with their fundraising, or they want to set themselves a smaller amount. They choose to pay the registration fee to secure their place, and they also opt to pay the challenge cost. So for example here we've got the London to Paris, so again that's the same registration fee for both options, so that's £175, and then the challenge cost is £795, and then we ask just to fundraise a minimum sponsorship of £500 as well. So again, for both options you'll be asked to do the same things, to set up the BT My Donate and the fundraising agreement and such. So it just depends on really how you want to fund your challenge. So again, some people who are quite new to fundraising, it can seem a bit daunting, but again on the screen we've got loads of fantastic examples from our fundraisers last year. I mean, there are so many different activities that you can take on board. We had one fundraiser last year who'd done a raffle. We had another one who'd done cake sales, guess the number of sweets in the sweetie jar. Bake sales are really popular for getting money in. We also had one fundraiser who organised an afternoon tea event. So she actually had a little fundraising team at her college. She got some of her colleagues on board to help her. And at the college, we participated in a few fundraising events as well. Our most successful one included the Great Office Cycle. So we were in discussion with a local gym who offered their services for free, and we just charged people to participate, and that included a donation from the gym as well. So that was really brilliant to get people on board to cycle the equivalent distance of the London to Paris as a group. So we really encourage all our fundraisers to put into place a fundraising action plan. This just takes some of the stress away from it all, and you can actually clearly see the steps that need to be taken to achieve your target. So I've just used here as an example the London to Paris cycle ride. So just focusing on the minimum sponsorship that's required, so that £1,590 if you wish to fund your challenge that way. I've included some examples of how you could reach that target. So I've put here online donations for a BT My Donate page could be around £500. Again, you could share that with your colleagues, your employers, your friends and your family. 2 sweetie jars. Again, as I said, one of our fundraisers last year, she'd done several of these, and on average she got about £60 a jar. So I've just put there as a figure, perhaps £122 for a couple of jars. Cake sales are really popular, as something that everyone can get on board with, and again, a good way to make money. So I've put there £150. And then if you wanted to organise an event, a pub quiz, or for example like a tea party, you could sell, say, 50 tickets priced at £20 each, which would generate about £1,000, and obviously taking away the cost of venue hire and such, perhaps you could be left with about £500. And then adding on the gift aid donations, £318, that brings you up to your total. Now, there's no one way to do this. Everyone last year done things completely different. One of our fundraisers, she just done 2 sweetie jars and a tea party and she hit her target. There was others who were able to get it through friends and family. There was more who done just bake sales. I mean, there's no one way to do this really, but what I can assure you is that we have an extensive fundraising pack that we've put together with lots of different ideas, and there'll be regular emails if you are stuck for how you can plan some events to generate some donations. So going on then, so what will you receive from us? So the support from RCPath, you will get a dedicated point of contact at the college, that's me, who can assist you with the organisation of fundraising events. So if you did, for example, want to do something like a tea party, I'm more than happy at the college, you know, to put tickets together, to design any posters or promotional material that you need to do this as well. You'll get an induction on how to maximise the funds you raise. So again, that'll be another webinar where we can give some more examples in detail of how you can reach your targets. Personalised promotional materials. So on the right there, I've got one that I recently did for Alice, who I mentioned will be running this year's marathon. Get a fundraising kit with posters, donation tins, stickers, etc. and monthly emails from the team with plenty of tips and ideas to kickstart your campaign. You'll also get a fundraising kit, as I said earlier, that includes all the ideas, a bit of information about the department, examples of projects we're currently working on or past projects as well, testimonials, sponsorship forms. So it's a wealth of material that you can share with your sponsors as well to let them know more about the cause. And you'll also get a branded kit there as well that me and Jenny, the training manager, are modelling there. So you'll get like the branded water bottle caps, t-shirt or a vest, cycle vest, and everything there as well. And most importantly, you will receive regular promotions. So we've got loads of different avenues to promote our fundraisers. So we post regularly online for our social media networks, so we're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything. We also do blogs. We do regular articles in the bulletin. So in April, we've got a feature on Alice, and so interview with her to help generate interest. We put mentions in the President's e-newsletter. We're up for doing podcasts, videos, and we also have our own e-newsletter, Pathology is Global, as well. So there's loads of different avenues to promote yourself. Again, it's not, you don't have to be on social media to participate. It does help, but again, if you're not, you can always just send pictures. I mean, that's what some of our fundraisers did last year, but it does help to generate interest and to spread the word among your supporters. So as I said, we're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Flickr and YouTube. So these are all the different channels that we use to promote the work of not just our fundraisers but the department as well. So you can check them all out and see examples on there of promotion that we did for last year as well. Right, so that's it from me really. So again, I'm more than happy to take any questions now. If you have any, if not, you can drop me a line at gemma.hooley@rcpath.org. I'm on the end of a telephone, and there is more information on the website as well. I'll also circulate around this presentation as well. So yeah, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. The deadline for applications is Friday the 17th of March, so there's still time and there's still plenty of time to fundraise and make a difference. So I really hope that that you are able to perhaps consider joining Team RCPath this year or perhaps in the near future. Thank you for attending, and again, I hope that you'll be in touch soon. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.